it is heartbreaking for us to be meeting under these really horrific circumstances. And yet, uh, I have I've never felt it as important to be with our community the way that I do right now. We are immensely grateful for the outpouring of support that we have received from friends and allies around the world, Jews and non-Jews alike. I want to acknowledge that there are so many from our community here today, not just AJC, and not just here in the United States, but our friends and colleagues from throughout the Jewish world, both the organizational world and literally every corner of the world. All of them coming together and understanding the importance of being together in this moment of tragedy. It speaks to the breadth and depth of our community that we're here today. It is a reminder that this is not only about being Jewish or about being Zionists, that this is a moment that is absolutely about being moral, about being human. Wednesday night, Sarah Milgrim and Yaron Lischinsky, two innocent and beautiful souls, were murdered as they left an AJC event that was focused on building bridges through humanitarian diplomacy. It was a meeting that took place at the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. They spent their final evening surrounded by their peers, by Jews and Muslims and Christians alike, all of whom were dedicated to working to ease human suffering across the Middle East. And then they were gunned down. They were stolen from us. They had their entire lives ahead of them. Sarah and Yaron were dedicated to helping Israel, the Jewish people. They were focused on helping humanity. Sarah, an American from Overland Park, Kansas, was warm and compassionate. She was committed to peace building, passionate about sustainability and the power of people-to-people relations. Yaron was born in Israel, lived in Germany for several years before returning to Israel when he was 16. He always had a welcoming presence about him. There was always a smile on his face. And as all of us have come to learn, they were dedicated to one another. As the ambassador told us this week, Yaron was planning to propose to Sarah next week in Jerusalem. For many of us on this call today, for many of my colleagues at AJC, really, we all see so much of ourselves or our sons and daughters, our sisters and brothers, loved ones, friends, in that magnificent and yet tragic photo of Yaron and Sarah that we've all had the privilege to study since their awful killing. This devastating attack, this anti-Semitic attack, is harrowing not just because of the two beautiful souls, the neshamas that we lost, but because we knew that it could have happened to any one of us anywhere in the world. Because our own sense of fragile security has been shattered yet again. The grief that we're feeling is spreading around the world. Our worst fears in many respects have been realized. Jewish communities from Washington to Tel Aviv and Sao Paulo and Paris, everyone is mourning these devastating murders. We talk often about the maxim Kol Yisrael Arvim Zeh B'Zeh, that all Jews are responsible one for another. We are, after all, one people and one family. And in the minutes and hours after this attack, here we are still, even at this moment, that concept has taken on new clarity for so many of us. Together with so many of my AJC colleagues and lay leaders, we have been receiving calls from all over the US and the world asking if we were okay and if they could help. People who saw a crisis and just wanted to help. People who were, after all, like Sarah and Yaron. People who raised their hands because in their hearts, they know that what happens to Jews in one place affects Jews everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are in the world that you're logging in from. You felt the pain and you felt the anguish of the past day and a half. So right now, there is no stronger way to honor the memory of the lives of Sarah and Yaron than by doing more of what we do in all the ways that we do it, more of what Sarah and Yaron were engaged in. We have to do this work together. Pirkei Avot teaches us you are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. That means that all of us must, in our own ways, do what we can to fight anti-Semitism, to make this a turning point, to make the world understand that we will not just accept this as normal. Speak out and be clear when people chant slogans about murder, when they take the side of terrorists, when they march in the street calling for violence, when they demonize Jews and Israelis and Zionists, when their hatred for Israel is so severe that it turns to violence against Jews, when they mainstream Holocaust revisionists, all of this is the outcome that we should expect. What happened on Wednesday night is a reminder that words have consequences, that anti-Semitism left unchecked can and will turn violent. It's never just the Jewish community that is harmed when there's anti-Semitism. The message that we all have to take to our friends, neighbors, government officials everywhere is that it's democracy that's at risk. It's the values that we cherish. That's what Wednesday reminded us of. Everyone has a role to play in making sure that this doesn't happen again, to ensure that society doesn't tolerate the kind of anti-Semitism, any anti-Semitism that leads to this. So in closing, I would just urge everyone to take the weekend to mourn, to reflect, to breathe. Take the moment to recharge. Here's the thing. Over the past day and a half, through all of our tears, through all of the moments that we have paused to think about Sarah and Yaron, and for all of the moments that we have rightfully taken to hug those close to us just a little bit tighter, for all of those moments, we realize that there is so much work to be done. We need everyone in this fight. We need everyone to say Hineni. We need all of you to work with us, our organizations, create a world where Jews can thrive, where Jews can be safe. In this dark moment, we need each other. The Jewish people needs us. America needs us. Israel needs us. And the world needs us to do this work. May the memories of Sarah and Yaron be a blessing to their families, to their friends, to the entire world. And may we know no more sorrow. I want to thank everyone for hopping on this important meeting with very little notice. And I wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom.